I'm Amber Davies and this is your 5-minute call. This is the space where musical theatre takes centre stage. From unforgettable backstage stories with incredible special guests to insights from my life and my theatre journey. We're leaving it all on the mic every single week, so let's jump in. Guys, I am so excited for this guest today. She is one of my favourite people on this planet. It's the powerhouse Natalie Paris. So today in the hot seat is one of my favourite people of all time. I mean, we've only started working with each other 6 months ago, but I've already asked her to be my bridesmaid. It's the sensation, Natalie Paris.
Wow, thank you so much for having me.
I just want to say a disclaimer. I've had to sit on the other side of where I normally sit because we both have the same favourite side of our face.
And do you know what? I actually really appreciate that from you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I mean, it's killing my soul, but
we'll just both look that way and it all will be good.
Yeah, I'm not actually going to be, I'm going to be interviewing the light. Okay, let's kickstart. I ask every single one of my guests this. What is your pre-show ritual? You might have loads of different for your different roles, but like as Kit.
Do you know what? As a general, I have to do a big siren, that really loud one that basically carries through the whole building, deafens everyone. As long as I've got a siren, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
And actually, there is a little thing that I join in with in Welcome to Hollywood. For specific Kit, I go, Hollywood.
Okay. So just to see
Not
it's
like that, better than that.
Yeah, but just to see it's working.
Just to make sure, and then I'm like, okay, it's fine, we've got this.
It's funny because in Pretty Woman, me and Nat do because Nat plays Kit DeLuca, Vivian Ward's best friend, and we sing Luckiest Girl in the World together about 15-20 minutes into Act 1, and I take the first verse, but at the side of my ear into the wing, all I can hear is and I just think, bitch, I'm trying to get this verse out.
Stop putting me off. Do you know how many times I do it in the show? I also do it in Never Give Up. When Curtis is playing the bin drum,
You do it then?
before I do
Just
yeah.
honestly, guys, if you haven't seen Pretty Woman, book your freaking tickets because this woman's vocals is next level. And I get to experience it. Like, there's one moment where she riffs in my face and I just look at you with the biggest puppy eyes ever. I'm like, honestly, shivers every single time.
Stop it.
So let's go all the way back to the beginning. So you started stage school at the age of 5. Finch Stage School.
Finch Stage School.
Yes.
Oh, God. Loved it. Yeah.
So was that the start for you? Was it like a hobby?
That was like local dance school.
Yeah.
Literally just dancing. I
Okay.
think we did a little bit of singing and like a few acting bits, but it was predominantly dancing. And I absolutely loved it. But yeah, just like every like Saturday and like midweek.
So,
you know,
so
like,
it was a hobby at the start?
yeah.
Then when did you discover, oh, I love to sing. I've got pipes on me.
Well, I always just sang around the house. I know, that's cringe, isn't it? But I loved it. I always just put on shows. I used to rope my brother into it.
I love that.
Dress him up, get him involved.
Get your mum and dad to pay for tickets.
Yeah, they used to like be taken off to the kitchen. They weren't allowed to come into the living room while we obviously prepared.
Okay.
Yeah, and then set the scene.
Was it like costume changes?
Oh, God, yeah, the whole thing.
Okay.
I just always did it. My mum actually said that apparently at her friend's wedding, when I don't even know how old I was, maybe around 5-ish, during the wedding ceremony, I got up and stood up and sung Old MacDonald Had a Farm.
Oh, my God. That was your debut.
That was my debut. Oh, my gosh. I just always did it. I loved it.
I think that, you can tell you've always had a passion for it because you're so good at it. Oh. So you've just loved doing it. You know, it's not like it comes so naturally to you. And then you did train at Italia Conti, but first you did your West End debut at the age of 8 years old in Les Mis as Eponine.
Yeah.
How did those stars fall in line?
Well, there was like this local agency, I think. Do you know what? I can't even remember the ins and outs of it all, but it was like that was sort of connected to the dance school. A lot of people, it was all sort of connection, like locally. And there was an audition for it. And
you just thought?
I just thought, Mummy, can I audition for this?
Oh no, little Nat as
Little me, 8 years old. Do you know, I actually look back at that time and think, how did I do that?
So how would you fit it in with school? Like, how many shows a week would you do?
So you'd only do 3 a week. So there was always 3 teams. When you're a child, there's rotating teams. So maybe you do like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then you'd be off and you'd come back the following Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So you'd always have like a week off in between because...
Of school?
Well, rehearsal's the only thing that clashed with school, really. And then it was in the evening. But
so would you go to school in the day?
Yeah.
Natalie Paris. That's why you're a night owl.
That's why it started from a young age.
Oh my God.
My poor parents, well, bless them, they're amazing. They took me, they picked me up. They're the best. They
Rhiannon and Cole, we love you.
them.
So with rehearsals and school, would school be okay with that?
Luckily they were, yeah.
So
but
they were
some
supportive.
schools could be funny with it, but luckily they let me do it.
I love that though.
Yeah.
And look at you now, like, you know, you've made an amazing career for yourself and that's how it started. But then you went back to Les Mis to play Cosette.
Yeah.
Are you the first child to ever play both of them?
Do you know what? I actually don't know.
I think we've got an exclusive here, guys. I think Natalie Paris is the first Eponine and Cosette child actress.
Wow. I'm going to take that even if it's not true.
Take it and whack it on the CV.
Yeah, it's on. It's on. 8 and 10 years old.
Yeah. Which one was your favourite?
Cosette. I mean, when I was Eponine, I was so young.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is amazing. But when I was Cosette, I think that was the first time that it like hit me. I had to sing a solo. I was so nervous. I don't think I've ever been that nervous. I remember it was still at the time of the revolving stage. And I called my mum before and I was just terrified. And she then apparently it sent her into overdrive because she was coming to watch. So she was a nervous wreck.
Oh my God.
And I remember standing there with my broom.
There is a castle.
Yeah. And I remember turning to my chaperone in the wing thinking, I can't do this. But as soon as
You started?
Yeah, I was fine. I loved it.
Did you?
I did.
How long did you, both year contracts?
6 months. You do 6 months. Sometimes they'll ask you to stay on.
Okay.
But I think that was 6 months, yeah.
But as a child, like, think how long 6 months feels.
I know.
I bet it felt like your whole life.
Yeah, it did. It was crazy. But the good thing about Les Mis is that for the kids, apart from Gavroche, you're done after the first act.
And then you go.
Then you go.
So you don't do the bow?
No. The only bow you do is your last ever matinee. I know, they bring you flowers.
No. Did you cry?
No.
No, not me. And then you went on to do Chitty Chitty Bang Bang at the Palladium. Original cast?
No.
No.
No, I was quite a few in, I think.
But I mean, my God. At the Palladium, how old were you
Palladium.
then?
I think I was about 9. Because I think I was about 9.
And did you love playing Jemima?
I didn't do Jemima. I was a sewer kid.
You...
Don't remind me, I'm boss. All I wanted to do was fly in that car.
You were a sewer kid.
I was a sewer kid.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I assumed because you got star quality, you were just Jemima.
Thank you.
Yeah, so...
I did want Jemima, but, I took the sewer kid and ran with it.
Yeah.
Gave it my best sewer
And as
kid.
well, humble, babe.
Oh, God,
Humble beginnings.
Absolutely.
You thought, yeah, I've played Cosette and Eponine, but I will take a sewer kid. I'm going to call you Jemima for the rest of the day, just to make me feel better.
Thank you. It's coming back. Maybe they'll let me fly in the car.
Maybe. And then you did Sunday in the Park with George. Original cast. Because apparently you're on the soundtrack.
I am on the soundtrack.
We must listen to that when we're sharing digs at the minute in Edinburgh, so best believe.
It's actually really cute.
Is it?
Yeah, I sound really like nasal.
I want us to listen to that all night.
Okay, we'll play it.
And then you did Billy Elliot. Obviously, you know who's been on our podcast before.
Of course.
Mr. Leighton Williams.
Of course.
We obviously struck a chord in his mind, reminding him that you're boyfriend and girlfriend. Nah, she was so pissed at me.
So Amber,
She told me in confidence, and there's me on the 5-minute call like, yeah, babe, she was in love with you. She went in love with him.
play it cool.
Did you love that, Billy?
Billy was so amazing. Yeah, because it was the first one that I did that was like so much dancing.
Yeah, ballet girl.
Like I feel like I was a tapper.
Really?
A full tapper.
Did you think, could we in Cirque du Soleil? Cirque du Soleil? Sorry, Cirque du Soleil's the club.
Yeah, I'm now in the circus.
Were you just like, because that, for me, when I was younger, the Billy Girls is where you wanted to be.
Yeah, do you know what? I actually didn't really know much about Billy Elliot.
Okay.
And then the audition came up and I was a bit like, all right, yeah, we'll go along.
Yeah.
Like not really having any expectation, because when I look back at that time, like auditioning now is difficult.
Yeah.
I have so much anxiety. It's a lot. Mm-hmm. But doing it as a child is, I don't actually know how I got through it.
I think children are carefree though.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like I've always been quite resilient. And even if I didn't get something, I didn't get a recall, my mum said I used to come out and be like, it's okay, next time. So like, yeah, but Billy Elliot I felt like was such a big process.
Yeah.
Like for a child.
What, like loads and loads of rounds?
Loads of rounds, so much tapping, so much dancing. But I loved it. And I was in one of those giant dancing dresses.
So I want to know, out of all of the shows you did as a child actress, what was your favourite? Or what was the one that will stay with you forever? They probably all will, but...
Yeah, that's so difficult. Do you know the one that was, I guess, the most special was Sunday in the Park with George, because you're the only child in that show.
Okay.
And when we first did it at the Menier Chocolate Factory, there was really, you're meant to have 3 casts of children, and there was only 2 of us. And it was like, I remember the dressing rooms were separated by like a cloth.
Oh, really?
And I was with Daniel Evans, like, oh my gosh, you know, like Anna Jane Casey, and then Jenna Russell came in, and like, and I remember I started Conti at that time, and so many of the cast would like check in and ask me how it was going. And because I guess we were just doing it at the Chocolate Factory, my parents or whoever could chaperone me had to chaperone me. We didn't have like a chaperone.
Wow.
So it was like such a unique experience. And I just felt like when I look back at that specific show now, I just think that was like the most special, amazing thing. We actually had a reunion recently.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, which was so, half of them were like, who's this girl walking in? Because I was like,
it's me.
Yeah, it's me, Louise. But like, I look at so many of them now and think, I can't believe I worked with them when I was a child so closely. There was no separation. One of the guys, Alistair, he engraved me this amazing like wooden recorder. It was that, I think that just was like
a special one.
They were all amazing. I'm so grateful that I got to do any of it when I was a child, but that was like
a highlight.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that so much. Now it's time for a quick interval. Go and powder your noses, and we'll see you in 2. So just for our listeners, because we have a lot of questions about where do you train, you went to Italia Conti and then RADA for a year.
Yeah.
How old were you when you went to Conti?
I was 12, 13.
Until when?
Until 17.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did my school years there, which was so much fun. And then I went on to the diploma course at 16, but I actually left in my second year, so I didn't graduate.
Why did you leave?
I think I'd been there a long time, and I think that period of my life, I was just not in a good place to be there. I think I had to remove myself from it. I had the most amazing experience there. But I think for me personally, I wanted to take a step back from musical theatre actually as well. And I just felt like I was not myself anymore, and I needed to like take myself out of the environment.
Which is brave. Did you come to that decision by yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I remember talking to my parents about it, and And when I spoke to some of the teachers, I think even a couple of the teachers sort of were like, yeah, you're not yourself, you know.
Okay.
We support you. And I had amazing years there. I really, really did. But I think it was the right decision for me at the time. And then I literally just gigged for years. I didn't even do musical theatre.
Years and years.
Years and years before I went to RADA.
Oh, really? So when did you go to RADA?
So I had quite a few years out where I was gigging. And I remember working in Cyprus, actually, and it was when the Les Mis film came out.
Okay.
And my friend was like, should we watch it? And I was like, yeah, all right. And then I remember thinking, oh, I miss it. I really want to do it again. So when I came home, I actually went to a school at the time called West End Masterclass, and it was every Sunday.
Yeah.
Run by Michael Xavier and Lindsay Wise. And it was like an hour of dance, hour of singing, hour of acting.
Okay.
And I loved it and I got back into it. And Michael actually was the one that said to me, have you ever thought about auditioning for RADA? And I was literally like, yeah, right, come on. Little old me from Essex. Like, I thought they'll never take me seriously. And he was like, I think you should. Well. And he helped me. Yeah, and I got on the foundation course and it was the best thing I ever did.
Was it?
Yeah. It was amazing.
I just feel like, would you ever in a million years thought you would have gone there?
No. I literally laughed. I thought, it's a classical acting school, you know? I saw it as so far like...
unachievable.
Yeah, that I never would have thought someone like me would get in and go. But it honestly changed my life.
Really?
And our course leader was so amazing and made me realise that like the most important thing is being you, not what anyone else wants you to be. Being so like just authentically you. I remember I used to have worry about my accent and how you know, all of those things that we do as people. And she was like, but that's what makes you you. Yeah. She was amazing.
You are very, you know, you're who you are. You wear your heart on your sleeve, you know, you see it how it is with Nat, you know, you just get her and only her, you know. You're wonderful, you're wonderful.
Oh, I love you.
So then, what we're all waiting for, really. So you were in the original workshop for Six. Way back when.
Yeah.
So then it says here that you went to Edinburgh Fringe in 2018.
Yeah.
With it, which is wild.
Six.
Because we're actually in Edinburgh.
Here we are.
Right this second. So you were always Jane Seymour.
Yeah.
For the first workshop.
Yeah. Yeah, literally knew nothing about it. They actually did it with Cambridge University.
Okay.
Originally with girls from the uni at Edinburgh Fringe. And then that's when it got picked up to like go into a proper workshop, and that's when we came along.
Okay.
Knew nothing about it. Just got told like it was like a Beyonce pop concert about Henry VIII's 6 wives. Bring a pop song.
Were you like, yeah, sign me up?
I thought, brilliant, pop song, stunning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a gut instinct like, oh, this could actually be quite big?
Not that. I mean, when I went into my first audition, you know what it's like. They don't give anything away.
Yeah.
You do what you do and then you leave and then you're a bit like, ah. But I spiral out of control. But I remember going in and I sang a pop song, and I remember Toby and Lucy both went, woo! Like that. And I was so thrown because I was like, oh my gosh.
What did you sing?
If I Ain't Got You, Alicia Keys.
Okay, amazing, okay.
And I was so thrown because that never happens really in an audition. And I just had a really like lovely feeling. But again, like didn't really know anything about the show. I think all the rounds were own pop song. We learnt to dance to a Christina Aguilera song. Like it was so still very unknown. But I just remember thinking, I just loved the vibe. And then I actually did think that I'd blown it because on my third round, I was sat in the corridor and they gave me this monologue just to like have a look over and then come back in the room. And I remember Amy Atkinson was there. She was, we say this to each other all the time. She just looked so hot on the stairs, like so confident. And I was there like, hello. A mute, didn't say a word. Christina Modesti was there. And we all walked back into the room together and did these monologues. And I remember Amy went first and she was so funny. And then Christina did one and it was so funny. And I thought, this wrong. I've really messed this up. I'm giving emotional. But I was thinking,
that is
this
Jane.
is meant. I know, but at the time I didn't know.
Okay.
I just remember seeing these two girls do their monologues being so funny. I thought, oh my God, I've got this wrong. I've missed the mark. This is meant to be funny and I'm giving emotion. So I just went with my gut. And then
you didn't try and do it funny, did you?
No, I stuck to my guns. I was like, this is definitely emotional.
Give it tears.
And I left. I remember calling my agent being like, I've messed it up. I called my mum. I was like, I've messed it up and I had a really good feeling about this one. And then he called me the next day and was like, you've got it. And I was like, and then obviously
I got goosebumps.
When I found out, I understood that, of course, she's the tearjerker.
So for anyone who doesn't know who Natalie Paris is, if you've ever listened to Six on Spotify and listened to Heart of Stone, that is Natalie singing. So you originated the role of Jane Seymour in Six, you know. That carries some weight really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You then got nominated for Best Supporting Lead Actress at the Oliviers.
Yeah.
And then the show as well was up for Best New Musical. Mm-hmm. So you're actually an Olivier nominee, which I didn't find out until this morning. And then thought, oh my God, I'm sharing dicks with an Olivier nominee. I didn't know.
Isn't that sentence the most wild thing ever, though?
Why you don't like, you know, on your dressing room door should be Olivier nominee Natalie Paris. Why did I not know you were up for an Olivier?
I don't know.
I was like, I can't believe that.
I know, I can't believe it either, to be honest.
Because for me, like, it's not, when it comes to the Olivier, it's not about winning, it's about being nominated.
100%.
You know, like when you got that call, like how when did you find out? How did you find out?
Well, obviously we knew it was as in like we knew the nominations were going to be announced soon and we knew people would be in to watch it. We were a new musical. But we just thought the musical would be nominated.
Yeah.
So I remember being sat at home. I don't think anyone was in the house with me. And the announcement came out. And we were like scrolling. We were like, oh my gosh, we're nominated. And then we saw that all 6 of us, as a collective, were nominated. And I remember thinking, you know when you double take? And I had to read it like 10 times to just like register what was going on. And I literally screamed and I called my mum and I cried.
Oh,
I couldn't believe it. Like the show is amazing. We all knew the show was amazing. We thought the show would be nominated, but I never thought that we'd be nominated, especially because it's so unique in that there's 6 leads.
Yeah.
There's not one lead. We're like almost an ensemble of leads.
Yeah.
And the fact that we were nominated together.
What was sisterhood?
Like, massively. We were just like, I couldn't believe it.
And like, do you ever just think, I'm so glad those stars fell in line for me with Six?
Yeah. I truly believe everything happens for a reason and at the right time. I work hard, you know, but you never imagine something like that would happen. You just don't. I just wanted a job. I was just grateful to have a job and be doing what I love. And doing something that this is cringe, but when I heard Heart of Stone, I felt like it was written for me.
Yeah.
That never happens. So I was just grateful that I was in a really cool show, a groundbreaking show with amazing women. Never did I think what would come after that. Do you know what I mean?
And you guys really, you know, it clicked with you 6, didn't it?
Yeah.
And like the swings.
Yeah.
You had like a rock solid group of girls.
Yeah, we were so lucky. I mean, when we did like a mini tour, which is when we did Edinburgh. Yeah. And I remember Edinburgh feeling like, oh, I think this is like bigger than we anticipated. So, you know, we got to know each other during that whole time inside out. So when we did come to London, it was like a bond that I don't know, it was such a special bond.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And then obviously you went over to America with Six, but we'll talk about that in a minute just because we're on the sisterhood thing. SVN.
Yeah.
So that is a group that you girls have created outside of Six, right?
Yeah.
But you met on Six.
We met on Six.
And then you released your first single, which was Stars.
Yeah.
Stars.
Yeah.
And then Woman.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just tell me everything. I get so excited about things like that.
So in lockdown, obviously there was nothing happening. And we'd always said that we wanted to come back together and do something together. But everyone's so amazing, got fantastic, you know, careers individually that we never could get together. So in lockdown, Amy called us all, and it was us original 6 and Grace Moat, who was she was our super swing. From the start, we had just Grace and Grace only, who covered all 6 tracks. Yeah. So there were 7 of us that were like in this bond together. So we put on a concert and literally just thought,
see what happens.
Just for like creativity and the fact that, you know, we'd lost it all in lockdown, and we got together and we did it as we called it the reunion, and it was in Bethnal Green, and we choreographed it all and like put this whole show on, and it was amazing. And that's all it was. And then we did another one that was like a virtual one.
Okay.
And then I think somebody was like you should be a band, or like it was so, that was never the intention.
But you just thought.
But it just sort of happened because we were doing stuff together.
And it makes sense because you girls create such an impact. Like, you have such a huge following, like the show did. Like, it's good to, you know, capitalise on that.
Yeah. And yeah, so we were just doing it. And then it developed, and then we wrote Stars and carried on writing and doing music videos, and we just loved like being creative. That was where it started from, being creative together. And then it just became
Do you think, I know now because obviously pandemic's over, everyone's back working, and you're all such talented ladies that it's probably hard to get you all in the same room at the same time. Do you think there will be more to SVN?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the whole point of us doing it was because we love working together and being creative.
Yeah.
And that was at the heart of it. And that we all love and respect each other so much.
Yeah.
Obviously, right now in this current moment, everyone is literally smashing live. And there's not 3 of us, there's 7 of us.
Yeah, exactly.
To get us on a Zoom, let alone in the same room, is so difficult.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's definitely, hopefully, more to come.
Hopefully. I love that. So there's just a couple of questions I want to ask you from our listeners.
Okay.
What would you love to get ticked off your list when it comes to career? Is there like one thing that you think, oh my God, I've got to do that before I die?
Oh, so many things.
I know. Because you've obviously gone... So quickly, Natalie went over to the US with 6 and toured the North. No, was it the North?
The West Coast.
The West Coast.
Yeah.
So the best parts of America.
LA and all down here.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, because like for me, I want to get over to the US. You've done that, you know.
I know. I mean, obviously Broadway is like, would love to do that. I mean, who wouldn't? I would love to be in a movie musical.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, I can
do you know what I
see
mean?
you.
Like something like that. Or like be the new voice of a Disney film.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like
So,
the song. Or...
marry your talent with television.
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
Okay.
And like something original as well. Because after doing 6, it really made me grateful and
hungry
for like those original things. Do you know what I mean? That you can put your own stamp on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, oh gosh,
I could see you in a movie musical.
I'd love to do that.
And as well, if you put it out to the universe,
yeah, I'm just going to say it every day.
Yeah,
movie musical.
And you heard it here first. So when you're there, I'm going to take this clip. What's been your career highlight so far? And I know it's hard because, well, originating Jane Seymour is like pretty much up there. But is there a moment, like there's been a day or like a moment where you just thought, oh, I can't believe this is my life?
Yeah.
I know working with me is
obviously
fabulous.
Number 1. I think the Oliviers.
Performing at the Oliviers,
being nominated, being there, was probably the most surreal day. I remember getting there and I was sat next to Millie and Lion King opened the ceremony and we just looked at each other and cried. I couldn't believe it. And then when we performed, I came off stage and cried.
Did you?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Like I just thought, at the Royal Albert Hall.
I mean, that is a space. That is one hell of a space.
And it literally erupted. We all looked at each other like, what the hell is going on? But I don't know. I mean, I feel, yeah, there's probably quite a few. I'll probably think of loads later and then be like, oh, that.
Damn it.
I mean, that was an incredible day.
And especially if you've been in the industry for so many years, like the Oliviers is so important in our industry, you know. And you got there, you did it.
Yeah,
you
that was
there.
Yeah, that was pretty special day.
You know, Olivier nominee. I'm living with a girl who's. Why did I not know that?
Sorry.
And then finally, I want to ask you, from working together, what has been our biggest mishap?
Our biggest mishap.
The thing is, me and Nat have a load of moments in the show. So Nat does her entrance before me, and I will always do something inappropriate to you on that. I'm standing in a wing on stage right. I'll always do always. Like, that is my pre-show ritual when it comes to Nat.
I feel like there's a moment in Rodeo Drive that there's a tiny bit of dialogue. And I feel like there's just been so many times where we are looking at because we're literally staring at each other's faces so close. I feel like there's been so many moments in that moment.
Yeah.
The other day, we couldn't even look at each other.
No.
We were like this, looking off in the distance.
I had to look away. I think every single one of our scenes, like, is so intense. Like, it's literally just me and you on stage pretty much.
Yeah.
But we have this little game where Natalie says, what do you say?
You got potential.
Yeah, so what I try and do is she does it different 8 times a week, and I have to mirror the way that she says it to me. It was the point the other day. We had to get a point in every single scene. And the thing is, you know, the audience would never know.
No.
But we know.
Just changing the intention. You know, yeah, keeping it spicy.
Keeping
and
it
fresh.
spicy. But honestly, working with you is like, it's just the best ever.
Amber, you too.
I hope we can do it again someday. Why does she not take me serious?
That was the cutest thing ever.
I hope we can do it
get to see each other someday.
I just don't know what else would be in together. This is like perfect, you know.
It is.
Viv and Kit, they're
Something
the two
new.
best friends.
Something new. There we go.
And then hopefully I can be up for an Olivier.
Yeah.
Yay! Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. This has been my favourite ep yet, obviously.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for, you know, giving me half an hour of your day.
Anytime, anything for you.
So now we're going to go and do a show together.
And I'm going to give the best You Got Potential of my life.
Thanks for listening.